be heard. The launch of Vegas Nation Fan Zone is their answer. That's right, Raiders fans can sound off on all things Raiders, from players to coaches to even the new Allegiant Stadium. Vegas Nation Fan Zone is accessible 24/7 and allows fans to generate and upload their own posts for lively interaction. Simply go to fanzone.vegasnation.com to sign up today. With so much excitement building around the Raiders and their inaugural season in Las Vegas, the fans want to be heard. The launch of Vegas Nation Fan Zone is their answer. That's right, Raiders fans can sound off on all things Raiders, from players to coaches to even the new Allegiant Stadium. Vegas Nation Fan Zone is accessible 24/7 and allows fans to generate and upload their own posts for lively interaction. Simply go to fanzone.vegasnation.com to sign up today. With so much excitement building around the Raiders and their inaugural season in Las Vegas, the fans want to be heard. The launch of Vegas Nation Fan Zone is their answer. That's right, Raiders fans can sound off on all things Raiders, from players to coaches to even the new Allegiant Stadium. Vegas Nation Fan Zone is accessible 24/7 and allows fans to generate and upload their own posts for lively interaction. Simply go to fanzone.vegasnation.com to sign up today.
Hey everyone, it's Ed Graney here, Sports Columnist Review Journal. How are you? You've entered the Vegas Nation Fan Zone. It's where we come each Tuesday. A bunch of us who cover the Raiders, answer your questions about the team. Myself, beat writer Vinny Bonsignore, our lead videographer Heidi Fang. We've got Bill Bradley, sports editor. This week you get me. It's live and virtual. So we're going to go through some of the questions you had about the Raiders, and I hope I can answer them to your pleasure and your liking. Send us questions in each week to the Vegas Fan Zone. It's really cool. We get to communicate with you and answer some questions. The first one, the very virtual, we got to go off the phone here. Gilbert Carrera, he asked us on Twitter, "Hey Ed, is the first time the Raiders have their own dedicated radio station?" Well, Gilbert, the news came out yesterday. 920 Lotus Broadcasting is going to be the home of the Raiders in weekly shows. Over on Comp, you're going to get the games. But yeah, this is probably the first time in the history of the franchise where they have their own dedicated station. All week on 920 is going to be, Raider-centric shows. JT the Brick, Benny Bonsignore, our beat writer, Mike Pritchard, Clay Baker, my former partner. I'm going to stay on ESPN in the mornings. It's going to be Raiders talk all the time. And then Comp for the games, also on 920. So yeah, I mean, this is awesome news, not only for Lotus Broadcasting, but for the Raiders in general and all you guys fans out there who can hear Raiders 24/7 all week. So I hope that answered your question. Next question, Johnny Hernandez actually went into the Fan Zone. So Johnny, thanks for that. Again, we're telling everyone, send your questions in each week. If it's not me, it'll be others on Tuesday at noon answering them. Johnny wants to know, are they letting fans into the training facility? Johnny, I'm sorry, they won't. At this point, I don't even know how close media is going to get. Probably not very close. Players arrived today for training camp. They're going to be tested today. They're going to be tested tomorrow. They're going to have an off day the next day. They're going to be tested the next day. They've got to have 2 negative tests over 72 hours. And yeah, it's COVID-19 world, man. They're then going to be, actually, after they're fitted their equipment, they're going to put one of these new fancy bracelets on that technology has come up with to track where they are. So literally, if a player or anyone comes within a social distancing level where they don't like, which is 5 feet or closer, that bracelet is going to have a sound or a beep to say, "Hey, get back." So this is how precise they're being with testing and making sure these guys are safe for the season. So in terms of fans are there, it's not going to happen. I feel bad about that. I've been in Napa the last 2 or 3 years. Nothing like seeing the fans in Napa. Nothing like seeing both sides of the field at Napa filled up. But it's COVID-19 world, and it's just not going to happen this year. I think the hope is next year, Henderson practice facility, they will have fans out there and get back to normal. But as far as this year, it's just not going to happen for fans being at Henderson. Like I said, the media at this point, we don't even know when we'll be tested or let in to allow us to bring stories to you guys, to tell you daily what's happening out at training camp. Might be a few weeks before we're even tested. So we'll keep up to date on that. And again, Benny Bonsignore, Adam Hill, myself, Heidi, we all try to do as much as we can, giving information out about the team. But sorry about that. Great question here from Art Dieweller from the Fan Zone. Why are there 2 fields, turf and natural grass at Allegiant Stadium? Great question. So much like at other facilities like this, Art, much like Arizona, where I've been and covered Super Bowls and Final Fours, the NFL team usually will use the grass. That's what they're mostly used to. That's what their players like. So they have a tray outside the stadium of grass that is able to grow on its own, obviously, and they take very good care of it. And then the turf is going to be for UNLV or college games there. Probably the Pac-12 championship will use it. The Las Vegas Bowl will use it. What happens is they will roll the grass in when it's NFL, and then the turf comes out. It's a long process. It can happen in, I want to say, 6 to 8 hours. I'm not completely sure on the time frame, but let's say the Rebels have a game on Saturday night on turf. Immediately after that game ends, the workers go down. They start moving one field in and one field out. And like I said, the NFL guys usually prefer grass, so that's why they have two fields. And it happened in Arizona. I actually saw the process begin in Arizona one time, and it's pretty remarkable. But that's why they have both. Fan zone question: will there be tours available at the new stadium in Vegas? So, yeah, I mean, I think eventually they will. They're on track to get this done on time, the end of July, and well, it would be a few weeks now, if not, no, less than a week. And I did check this out before the fan zone questions. If you go to allegiantstadium.com, you can fill out a form there, and that will tell you how to sign up. And then when all the craziness ends and there's no more COVID and fans are allowed back in the stadium, they're going to give tours of Allegiant Stadium, and they should. Fans should be able to experience this like everyone else. There are tours around every new stadium in America. As you know, the state of Nevada okayed the $750 million tax. So this should be the people's stadium. I know other people might own it and operate it, but this should be as important to you guys as it is to anyone else. So definitely there will be tours available. And I have not been in it completely as far as this point where it's built. I know people who have. They say it's absolutely amazing and tremendous. And, we'd expect nothing else, not only in Las Vegas, but when this kind of stadium is built by Mortensen, by AEG, it's going to be first class all the way. So I would wait on that, and I feel confident that in time you will be able to take tours of that stadium. It's going to be wonderful. Waiting for more questions. If you have any questions, go to the fan zone, and we'll answer them. A few things here about training camp. Like I said, it opened with the COVID tests. And these guys are, Hunter Renfrow, you guys might know, tweeted this morning. He had butterflies in his stomach, but this is what he had a Skype training session today and to be tested. So this isn't Napa, and it's much different. I think when they get going, they'll probably even, so far they haven't had any negative tests. So you got to knock on wood there. Knock on wood if you're with me. Hello, John Gruden. But also, they have had no one opt out at this point. We've seen the New England Patriots have 6 to 7 guys opt out, including Donta Hightower, an incredible linebacker with 3 Super Bowl rings. The Chicago Bears have had people opt out, leading players, and all for different reasons. I'm sure all important reasons. Hightower is set to make $8 million this year. He just had a baby, so that's why he opted out. It's tough decisions for a lot of people. But in terms of the Raiders, Vinny Bonsignore just had a Twitter for us that there were no opt-outs. I think that's a good thing. But I also, never would question a person opting out at this point, whether it's be health reasons, family reasons. A lot of these guys have families and small children. We'll keep you up to date on the opt-outs, and we'll definitely keep you up to date on what's happening in this very bizarre training camp. I was going to say 40 players probably on each side when they get going. I doubt they're at 90 players now. They're going to have to cut to 80 pretty fast. But I do think when it's going here, they're going to split them up 40 might be lifting and doing other things, 40 on the field. Obviously, because of the heat, they're going to do a lot of things inside their training camp with their inside field. Most of the things probably, which is really good to have, obviously, when you have the Vegas heat. So we'll keep you up to date on training camp and all the things that go into bringing the Raiders into this 2019 season. There's some, obviously, Vinny's done a great job writing on some position battles, whether it be the slot corner with Lamarcus Joyner and Mick Robertson, whether it be the inside linebacker, who's going to play along with Tatowski and Littleton, defensive line. Can Brian Edwards beat out Terrell Williams for the number 2 slot of the wide receiver next to Henry Ruggs, the rookie? Keep an eye, I think, also on Marcus Mariota. This is a big year for Derek Carr. Everyone knows that. I think they have to make a run to the playoffs. It's tough because it's not always the quarterback, but when you've been around 6 or 7 years, had one playoff appearance, and you were hurt during it, not his fault, he got hurt before it, they need to make a run at the playoffs. He now has a guy in Marcus Mariota backing him up. Really the first legitimate guy, if we're being honest, that can push him for that job is now backing him up. Keep a close eye on him. And, the defense. I wrote a column over the weekend. This is really the first time Paul Guenther has had money spent on free agency for defense coordinator. First few years, all the money went to offense, whether it be Trent Brown, Antonio Brown. We know what happened there. Terrell Williams, like they all lined up and got the money. And this is the first time in the offseason the Raiders have really committed money to the defense. And I think Paul Guenther, well, maybe have taken a hard time from people as being a defensive coordinator. I can't say it's all his fault. I actually think this is the first time he has really high-end free agents defensively. So this is he's on the clock as well to turn this defense around and not give up 26 points a game. If you give up 26 points a game in the NFL, you're going to lose most games. There's a stat out there that if you are top 10 in points allowed, you're going to make the playoffs. Now, to go from 26 points a game down to top 10 defensive scoring and defensive points allowed, that's difficult to do. But they've got to get better defensively, because I do think all of us who cover the team believe they'll be better offensively in terms of getting the ball into the end zone. Last year, they were great in between the 50 or in between the 20s. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone. Now you had Ruggs, you had a Hall of Fame tight end who Jason Witten, who I think is going to do an incredible job helping Darren Waller become an even better tight end than he already is. Josh Jacobs his second year, Hunter Renfrow his second year, all the guys they drafted. If the offensive line stays healthy, it's terrific offensive line. So I do think that there are pieces there to have a really good offense. But at the end of the day, they've got to stop people. They got no push last year from the defensive line. Max Crosby had the 10 sacks, but more of what I'm talking about in passing situations, analytically, they're not good at all getting the push. And if you don't get a push immediately, then your guys in the back end are just susceptible. And we saw what happened. You just can't cover guys for that long. So they've got to start up front with the defense, getting a push, and allowing guys in the back end to have a chance to cover people, because we know, start with the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. Tyreek Hill, one of, if not the best tight ends in the league, Travis Kelce. We know about Pat Mahomes. So if you just start at the top of that division, they've got to be better at getting push up front and allowing their guys, whether it be Damon Arnett, Prince I'm going to get his name right eventually. Amakurumama, I totally blew that one. And guys, Trayvon Mullins, who have been the corners, their safeties, they've got to get help for those guys covering the kind of receivers they're going to see in that division and across the league. So I do think there's a lot of position battles to keep an eye on this camp as much as you can from afar. We'll do our best here at VegasNation.com and ReviewJournal.com to give you as much information as we can and to bring you along with training camp, to give you all the information. It's not going to be normal. We're going to do our best. We're going to have many people out at that training facility every day when we're allowed to have people out there. And we're going to try to give you as much versatility and stories and features and updates as we can. Just bear with everyone. This is not normal, and it's the first time any media has really covered an NFL team this way. But I'm confident the Review Journal will do a great job and will give you what you need. Again, this is the Fan Zone. We like questions every week. I want to see one more time if I missed any, because I definitely don't want to do that for this week. This is live and virtual. You can tell how I get my questions, which is really cool. I think we covered them all. Johnny, with the letting the fans in the training facility, the radio station, Allegiant Stadium, and the grass. So remember now, I'll do the shameless plug. Adam Hill and Adam does a great job along with the Raiders as well. We host a podcast every week on sportsmanlike conduct. We talk about the Raiders, and then we talk about complete idiocy. We try to be funny and give you something in the background of both of our lives, and we critique a lot of things, and so we want you to watch that each Friday on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Get all your information at VegasNation.com, Vegas Nation app, and here at the Fan Zone. So next week, I believe Bill Bradley, our sports editor, will be with you. Send your questions into the Fan Zone. We'll do our absolute best to keep you guys up to date on all Raiders. Again, Vegas Nation, follow all of our podcasts at wherever you get your podcast, and we'll do our best. Thanks for visiting with me today. I really appreciate it, and keep reading us and watching us and following what we do.
With so much excitement building around the Raiders and their inaugural season in Las Vegas, the fans want to be heard. The launch of Vegas Nation Fan Zone is their answer. That's right, Raiders fans can sound off on all things Raiders, from players to coaches to even the new Allegiant Stadium. Vegas Nation Fan Zone is accessible 24/7 and allows fans to generate and upload their own posts for lively interaction. Simply go to fanzone.vegasnation.com to sign up today. With so much excitement